friendo, Steve here. Welcome back to the channel. So Money in the Bank is this coming weekend. By the way, if you want to watch it with me and Larson and the Enforcer over there at Going In Raw, you can do that because we're going to be doing that this coming Sunday at our YouTube channel. So head on over to that channel, hit subscribe if you haven't done that yet. It's called Going In Raw, in case you might be new to Wrestle Juice and Steve here. So in honor of Money in the Bank taking place, I wanted to go back and do something here on Wrestle Juice related to Money in the Bank. And I got to thinking, should I do a thing about how Vince McMahon every once in a while has buyer's remorse with Money in the Bank, just like he did last year with Otis and Baron Corbin and Damian Sandow. But that's really kind of only the three names that I know. Braun had an unsuccessful cash in technically, but I was like, I don't want to focus on the negative. I want to focus on the positive. So I thought I'd take a look at my favorite and kind of generally thought of as, right, the best Money in the Bank cash-in of all time. It's up there with Edge's first cash-in, but I'm talking about, of course, Seth Rollins at WrestleMania 31, cashing in on that main event between Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns. I was there. Here's a picture to prove it. There I am marking out. That was moments after either the win. I think it was moments after the actual win. Where I said, why does my mouth look so weird? My face looks really weird there. That was ages ago. My face has changed since then. Anyways, it was a massive moment. We had just been, here's a little personal history. Larson and myself had just been laid off from Machinima. And on air, I think we had been discussing, or I was discussing whether or not I was even going to go to WrestleMania because I was trying to save money because we didn't have any money coming in. And I was like, man, if I could maybe sell this ticket and not have to pay for the train ride down there to San Jose, maybe I could save a little bit of money. And Larson and Hilton both convinced me otherwise. They were like, hey, you got to go. This is going to be a blast. It's going to be a lot of fun. So I went, and I was very happy I did. It was honestly the best live wrestling moment that I've ever experienced. I've been to my fair share of shows, and this by far tops them all. It was absolutely an amazing moment for me personally. And I found a Reddit thread. That's right. Steve's getting back on the wrestling Reddit that posed this question. And I believe this question was posed at the beginning of 2015 because it presupposes that the Royal Rumble hasn't happened yet. This first comment here. And I was kind of curious. This question that was posed. So, when do you actually see Seth Rollins cashing in his Money in the Bank? It says it seems to be all assured that Seth will be champion in the next 6 months. The only issue is when. With the plan being Roman Reigns going over Brock or Cena at WrestleMania 31, do we have an immediate cash in at WrestleMania to start the feud for the next few months? Kind of like a Randy Orton cash in on Daniel Bryan at SummerSlam 2013. Or do they wait until one of the lesser pay-per-views? He has to cash in before the next Money in the Bank pay-per-view, so that only really leaves him the 2 months after Mania to cash in. It could build a huge main event rivalry for Seth to stand tall at Mania and have Roman chase him over the next several months and have Roman win it again for real at SummerSlam. So if I'm reading that right, it could build a huge main event rivalry for Seth to stand tall at Mania. Is he actually predicting that could be the case to stand tall at Mania? I was kind of curious what other people in the wrestling community at the time thought of when Seth Rollins would cash in at the very beginning of 2015. This is what they have to say. Lex Tucky says, have Seth help Cena win a last man standing match of the Royal Rumble. Now, if you remember, 2015, the Royal Rumble was that terrific, excellent Seth Rollins, John Cena, Brock Lesnar match. That was a really amazing match. So this person's suggesting this is a great idea. Have Seth help John Cena win that match where they both just beat the crap out of Brock Lesnar, and then he's able to cash in on John Cena, perhaps. Let's see here. Rufus John says they are waiting far too long every year lately to have the cash in. As someone else mentioned previously, the briefcase is now acting as a de facto title for Rollins due to Lesnar having the title and never being around. They should have the next few cash-ins the first few days, weeks, or months after someone wins the briefcase. Sparl says, I've always seen it as setting up a triple threat at SummerSlam. Reigns is champion going into Money in the Bank 2015, and Rollins is still yet to cash in. Ambrose is in the Money in the Bank match and wins that. Reigns retains his title, and then Rollins comes out and cashes in on him. Then out comes Ambrose, still without a win over Rollins, cashes his briefcase in on Rollins and takes the title from him. Wait, didn't that happen at the next Money in the Bank? Ambrose won Money in the Bank. Rollins won it from Reigns, and then Ambrose cashes in on Rollins. That totally happened. American Badass Undertaker comes back at WrestleMania and beats Brock for the title. Seth Rollins cashes in but loses. Undertaker rides away on his motorcycle, and the WWE World Heavyweight Championship is retired. What? All right. My bet, Devil Could Cry, says my bet is that Rollins will cash in on Reigns after the WrestleMania 31 main event. A cash in at Mania has never been done before, and this would be the perfect time for them to do it. Cash in on Reigns after the 31. This was so close. This was basically the thing. This was so close. Oh, man. He says, I've been downvoted for saying that in the past, but it doesn't change my opinion. Supermax, I agree with you. I believe Reigns will be better to watch as a chaser rather than a reigning champion. That's funny. He was downvoted for calling it right. That's kind of funny. Only a couple people called it as Mania. Let's take a look at the Wrestling Observer and see what he had to say about the moment. This was great. I love this backstage stuff. He says, they did break with title plans. The decision to go with Rollins was not made at the last minute, although few were made aware of it. Wait, was not made at the last minute, although few were made aware of it. Reigns was originally scheduled to win the title. The impression we have is that Lesnar was fully appraised of the plan for Rollins to win at WrestleMania when he was finalizing his contract. My gut, Meltzer's gut, is that they had to tell him because if he signed and then they sprung the change on him, while it wouldn't hurt him since he knew he was losing the title anyway, it's a trust thing. Lesnar has already shown he can walk out at any time, gets very mad when things don't go as he's told they will go, so you can't play the usual games with him. I don't know when Reigns was told that he wasn't winning, past the point that it appeared nobody in his family knew. Funny point here, because there's actually a GIF here. Oh, this is brutal right here. This is hilarious and brutal. So there's Rollins cashing in, and there's Reigns' mom, apparently. Oh, man. Look at the look on that face. Oh, pissed. That's legit pissed right there. Oh, knowing her baby boy is not going to win it. That's rough. That's rough, Mrs. Reigns. Anyways, he says, Meltzer says, I don't know when Reigns was told that he wasn't winning, past the point that it appeared nobody in his family knew. His father was so furious at the finish that later that night there was nearly a bad scene. It appears none of the other family members knew either, and all were unhappy, some more than others. Rollins found out that he was winning late in the show. He was also told that as champion, he would have to fly after the show to New York to appear on the Today Show and back to San Jose to appear on Raw the next night. The last 45 seconds of the match that he was getting the title was said to be told to Rollins right at the start of the Rock Ronda Rousey angle. It was at that point when Rollins, Reigns, Lesnar, Paul Heyman, and producer P.S. Michael Hayes went together into a room to go through the new finish and work out how they were going to accomplish it. The rest of the match had already been worked on and formulated. Rollins as champion was the best choice for the time being. He had to get the title within the next few months because it would hurt him to not win on his cash-in. And he was always supposed to get the title before the next Money in the Bank, just a question of when. He's a guy who the title would elevate, and he's got a long list of challengers in Lesnar, who right now has the potential to be the closest thing to a Steve Austin-like babyface that the company has had based on his Mania reaction and the Raw angle. Reigns, Orton, Cena, Daniel Bryan, who he could headline with, and perhaps Dean Ambrose as well. So that's kind of interesting stuff. I always like looking at that kind of stuff. And yeah, so we'll see. I don't know. What do you guys think? What's your favorite cash-in of all time? Let me know in the comments below. What did you guys think of the Rollins cash-in? Like I said, best moment I've ever been to live personally. It was pretty great. So yeah, check out one of these other videos while you're at it. I just thought it'd be kind of fun to talk about Seth Rollins cash-in at WrestleMania. It was pretty great. Sort of set the gold standard there after that. Because, I mean, God, like three of them afterwards. Braun, Baron, Otis, and Miz, all that stuff. They've kind of been dropping the ball a little bit lately, haven't they? Hopefully they'll have something cool this year. See you guys later.